Hello friends, TechManPat here. You may have seen on the channel recently we did a Dreame versus Eufy robot. Those were the cheapest under 250 Australian dollars robots. And Dreame must have seen that video because they sent me this one right here, the DreameBot L10s Pro Ultra Heat. Yes, it's a mouthful, but I'm pretty excited to review it. In fact, it's got some features that other robots just don't have, and I think they're actually quite smart. So join me on the review of this pretty amazing bot. And at this price range, I think you're gonna be very surprised how well it does. So make sure to like and subscribe. Big thanks to Dreame for sending this for review. Let's get started by rolling the intro. All right, let's start with the standout features. First of all, the robot has two spinning mops at the back that automatically get cleaned in the machine. What's really interesting is that the right-hand side bot, if you're looking from the back side of the robot, actually extends out and reaches the edges of your wall. I've not seen a robot be able to do that before, especially with the mop part. Now, I've always loved spinning mops because they do a little bit more than just vibration. And I've said to a lot of people that if they really want a mopping robot, they need one that has spinning mops in the back. The bonus part is they go back and clean themselves. But that's not all. It also heat cleans it. That's right, it goes up to 58 degrees Celsius to kill all the bugs, or at least as much as you can within those degrees. But that heat helps to clean and get the grime and dirt off those mop pads, which means every time you go off into the rest of the house to mop after cleaning, it's actually a cleaner mop than before. This is a fantastic feature, and a robot that mops but doesn't clean itself is useless in a home because it is just going to spread dirt around. Then coming back to that suction, it's 7,000 Pascal units of suction. That's excellent for this size robot. Now, the smart thing about it is that when it gets to carpet, it bumps up that suction. The battery is also really excellent, actually, around 220 of runtime every charge. Now, my home is a 4x2 with a large corridor and a couple of rooms and two kind of little living rooms. And this robot goes through the whole house with lots of battery left. And because it's all self-contained, both the cleaning and the removal of the dirt from the bucket here into this area here, you've got yourself a very useful smart robot. Now, apparently the bag lasts for about 75 days. It's a larger bag than most. If you pop this cover off, you can see it right here. It also has something quite unique to the mopping. It has a detergent dispenser. Obviously, the downside is you have to buy detergent from Dreame, but it's well worth it. Not only do you have a mop that spins, it also cleans itself with heat, but it also adds a bit of detergent every time it runs. So then you've got the water. This bot has the capability to be completely hardwired into your water line. So it can refill and empty itself if you have the ability to put this next to, let's say, your kitchen or your laundry, where you can let water down and of course put water in. Yes, it might require a plumber, but ultimately the only thing you have to swap after that is that bag right here, which lasts 75 days. The suction is really, really good. I would wish there was another brush on the other side, but I understand that it does brush from one side and always goes from the right-hand side. In saying that, that might not actually matter because it also has some smarts built in. This has a system called Precise Clean Genius. And apart from marketing speak, what does it exactly do? Well, I've actually seen it live, which is impressive because a lot of other robots say they do something, but you can never catch the robot doing it. This thing can see dirt, and what it does, it'll circle multiple times to make sure it cleans it. And I saw it do it a couple of times in the kitchen, and I was thoroughly impressed. I was like, first of all, I said, how did you see that? Obviously it has AI. You can't call it real AI. It's image-based recognition because AI is artificial intelligence. It doesn't actually think for itself, but it does recognize messy spots on the floor and double back and circle back and clean it. For the first time in a long time, the AI may actually be worth sticking the word on this product. So let's talk navigation. Yes, it can obviously go from room to room. And in fact, this starts in rooms. It does the carpets first and then the mops. I really like that, and that's on by default. The fact that it does the carpets first and then the mopping and the hardwood floor is actually kind of considerate in the fact that you don't want a wet mop running around your carpets after it just cleaned all the hardwood floors. So this is a really good way to do it, and I'm impressed that they thought about it. A lot of other robots just go from where they start to the other end of the house and go, hey, I'm finished, and return. This does a scan for the first time and then knows where there is a carpet and goes to that first and then does the hardwood floors. And of course, in the app, you can divide them, separate as you wish, and of course, dictate where it goes and where it cleans. This is pretty standard stuff, and it works really, really well in the Dreame app. Furthermore, the AI camera in the front does also recognize obstacles like toys and cables from a phone charger or other bits and pieces, and is able to avoid it. The avoidance is so impressive and so tight that when it goes around corners, I'm absolutely astounded as it goes around them. It's so close. It doesn't have this white berth. It just really goes exactly to the edge, turns and goes all the way around. And yes, the side mop does extend, but the navigation is impressive, and even if it didn't extend, it would still do a great clean around table legs, edges of the wall, and corners. It just does such a great job. I don't know how it's doing it, but most other robots don't get so precisely close to these edges. I'm gonna get to the price soon because you're gonna be surprised. Now, of course, in my testing, I let the robot run for a couple of weeks. It did a great job around the house. It did it really well, and actually kind of quickly. Because it did all the rooms first, it meant that I could utilize those rooms while it did the rest of the hardwood flooring. That worked for my house. It might not work for yours, but I really like that setup. Now, I did throw a couple of bits and pieces in front of a bit of sand, a bit of obstacles, and it avoided the obstacles really well and picked up all the dirt and grime. Then I tested how well it actually cleaned the hardwood floors. And this is the part that again impressed me. And I think it's due to that heat treatment of the mops, but also the fact that they spin. This is the best way to clean it because even if it's not moving or moving slowly, those things are spinning and not just vibrating and wiping away. They're actually throwing things around and scrubbing. And that is really important to maintain your floors cleanliness. So let's talk about price. Right now, you can probably find this robot for 1,600 Australian dollars. The Dreame L10s Pro Ultra Heat, yes, it's a mouthful, it is fantastic value. I've not seen a bot with all this function for that price. Most of the robots that I've reviewed that had at least 90% of this were well into the $2,500s and $3,000. So this begs the question, where are they skimping? I actually think it's the thickness of the plastic shells on things. The buckets that hold the water aren't that thick. They're kind of flimsy actually. And the system isn't compact. It's actually quite large compared to other brands that have both functionalities. So for that price, the way they've managed to cram all these features in is really impressive. So a couple of specifications. The battery is 5,200 milliamps. It has a 4.5 and 4 liter tank for the dirty water and clean water. It has a dispenser here for the detergent, and it has a bag that's 3.2 liters that allows for up to 75 days of dust collection, depending on how dirty your house gets and how often you run the robot, of course. And lastly, compared to the other Dreame robot that I had, it is much faster at charging. I noticed this was at 100%, much quicker than my other robot. Now, there is some other functionality in this that some people might be very surprised to hear it has. It has a sterilizing ion thingy that's supposed to kill bugs. Now, I have no real ways to check that. I don't have a pastry dish to do so, but if I'm looking at other robots, the fact that this does, that's pretty cool. But it also has an AI camera that you can look through your app and see what's going on in your home. This is interesting if you've got pets. So what about the negatives? I think there is a couple, but a lot of them can be fixed with software. For example, it basically doesn't let me do anything unless I refill all the water or empty it. If it gets down to below 20%, it docks and it will not empty itself until it reaches that 20% threshold. So it might finish a clean at 13%, come back and wait until 20% before it empties itself. But you can set timers and things like that when it empties, and it will do it if it reaches that magic 20% battery life. So it's not really a problem. It's just these little things that you do overlook because the price is so low. Friends, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video showed you a little bit about what's available on the market right now. And with value for money, I think the Dreame L10s, Yes, I know the name is long, Pro, Ultra, Heat, needs to be in your top 3 when exploring robots like this. It can do it all. So thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you all in another one. Big thanks to Dreame for sending this for review. Of course, links below where you can grab one for yourself. They're available in all retailers in Australia, Harvey Norman, JB, all those ones, or you can use my link, of course, through Amazon affiliates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another one. Bye.